I don't know what I'm more excited about, seeing Dune for the second time in theaters or the fact that the McRib is back.
I mean, I like those too, but it is gross.
McRibs are gross.
It's a disgusting slab of. You
it's
can't even
gray.
call it meat.
It's gray.
I'm not even
Pulverized pork jelly solidified into a mold.
I'm not even a big pork fan. Like, there's few cuts of a pig that I like, and for some reason I just get satisfied when I eat that disgusting thing.
Soylent Grey.
Do you remember that company made that like complete nutrition product? Like, it was big protein shakes, but it was called Soylent.
Oh yeah.
And it was like supposed to be all you needed. You didn't have to eat anything else.
All the soy boy beta cucks were drinking that.
Yeah, they were going nuts for it, and then they were getting it in the mail, and it had like mold in it and stuff. And I'm like, oh, if only there was like a diverse array of foods to choose from that weren't fucking moldy and wouldn't make you grow estrogen and boobs and stuff, you know?
It's like you can't even blame like Soylent for them being bitches.
I mean,
you know,
clearly they had a sense of humor about it. Like some real is going to buy our thing, you know?
It's vegan friendly, non-organic, non-GMO, non-chemical.
Yeah, it's
nothing.
Yep.
Also, drink this for a month and you're going to have one sweet rack.
Also,
you can take it hunting. So the new Dune is quite similar to the 1984 Dune.
It's almost a shot-for-shot remake.
And that's not a joke.
It's not a joke. Which
fascinating.
I'm not going to like spoil it for you.
Why does this table creep?
How could I
it's like a ship theme.
It's probably the crack fucking building job that I did on it.
Probably the person who made it.
That's what I'm saying.
Like some psychopath went nuts for 3 weeks making like 20 tables. Anyway,
back to Dune. I thought, like, obviously I can't spoil it for you two. I can spoil it for whoever's listening. But
I'm gonna watch this later.
When I've seen both
I'm saying
movies and read the book.
It's like they drag some scenes out and make them a lot cooler, but it's a shot for shot remake. And
I watched the one on YouTube.
Oh, there's a fan edit of the 1984 one that is apparently I've never made it through because I watched the old. Like, I actually watched the David Lynch edit. When I stopped watching that one, watched the David Lynch edit a week later, and never came back to the fan edit. Even though that looks good, but I'm really curious what the Sardaukar look like in the new one. It better be cool.
You want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they've never looked cool, and they're like the coolest dudes outside of the Fremen.
Yeah.
But they never looked cool.
Yeah, the Fremen are definitely the coolest in the whole movie. Like the way they designed their costumes and everything was just awesome. It felt way better than the original. Even though it was
remarkably similar costumes too, like the nose thing.
Yeah, everything's pretty much the same. They just add, some more drab to it, and some more stuff out of the books. But I think is that how you say it, Sardaukar?
That's how I've always known it.
I think that's how they say it in there. They kind of remind me of
different pronunciations even in all the movies and stuff.
What they're wearing, their armor kind of reminds me of. Yeah, they're wearing armor. And it reminds
metallic
maybe
armor?
Like a composite. All the armor in the
trailer, I saw a guy that looked kind of like a knight, from old England.
The armor for House Atreides looks like it's made out of concrete, and
yeah,
you know what I mean. And then, but theirs looks more like stormtrooper, like composite kind of laminate armor. That's what it looks like. But it's reminiscent of like the Tau from like Warhammer.
Oh, cool.
40K or something.
I like the Tau.
In a way, but and kind of cross between that and like the suits they wear in like Pacific Rim. It kind of feels like that kind of vibe, like kind of high tech. But then when you watch them train, it's not high tech at all. It's very like they undergo torture and stuff. To become that proficient at fighting.
They're like prisoners.
Yeah,
like on I can't remember the planet's name, but
I don't either.
They basically it's kind of like an awful life, but it kicks ass. It's sort of like the Space Marines, except they even say that like whoever's victorious, they just like bring them women and like they get food and like if you're good at your job, you're rewarded, it's just like you're living on this like frozen hellscape, and you have to fight each other to prove your status.
Like and with the is it Harkonnen or Harkonnen? Because
I would say Harkonnen.
That's what we always said, and that's what they say in the original movies.
That's what I always
in
thought.
this one, they call it Harkonnens.
Well, and it kind of one of the characters in the original movie said Harkonnen, like
was it
like Yui or somebody?
Yeah,
says it. It's just, of course. I mean that movie's great, but it's all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it had many flaws. It's really one of my favorite bad movies. You know. But
I liked it though. I liked the views and the vistas. No, it felt like it was a 2 hours and 70 minutes, and it felt too short. Like,
well, they are only telling half the story too,
it's
right?
Part one, and like the usually in a movie that long, like I got to get up and go to the bathroom once. You know, I didn't get up at all, and I felt like I could, since I've already seen, like, it's the same story. It's almost shot for shot remake. You'll be surprised. You'll be like, oh, like, you know exactly what's happening or what's coming next in the next scene. And still, they didn't change anything.
You know what that just made me think of is Reid and I went to Last Jedi with Reid's family, and I think we both used the bathroom at the same time. And then we felt comfortable, like, hanging out and talking out there for, like, 4 minutes. And then we went back in, you know, and I don't care what I missed. Not, you know, like, it's the only movie I ever haven't hurried.
But this movie, it...
Fucking battering ram cannon.
Like, it could have been this... It could have been another 2-3 hours.
Is that exactly what it sounds like?
If Dune was another 3 hours long, I probably would have taken a bathroom break, because you know the story. But I would have sat there and watched it. It like the way
that's why you got to bring like a Ziploc bag or like a condom. Oh no, the water balloon I brought for fun. It's rolling down the chairs.
And like, I've tried watching the original Dune movie with the wife, and she doesn't like it. I mean, it's a tough one for people that aren't into science fiction like that. She really enjoyed this movie. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like Dune. And then we started listening to the Dune audiobook on Audible. And she listened to that with me. We only made it to like chapter 2 before passing out. But yeah.
When I was like a freshman in high school, we'd moved to like we didn't have the internet or anything. We only had like 14 VHS tapes. So I was just watching like the same shit over and over again. I was watching like Terminator 1 and 2, Men in Black. I don't know. There's a bunch of crap. Austin Powers. But Dune, I just kept watching Dune. And like my mom would come upstairs and she'd be like, "Can you watch something else?" And she'd just be making fun of it, like standing in the door making fun of it, like the narration they have where they, like the inner voice where they have monologue over their actor walking around the room, and you're like, it is really stupid. You know, like you love it now, but
you see, CinemaSins did a week ago with this new Dune movie coming out. They did a CinemaSins for the old.
Oh,
movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's funny. Yeah.
I'd tune in for that. They do a lot of movies I don't care about, but when they do one I like, that. Yeah. I gotta go find it.
The first time I watched that channel for maybe a year.
I used to watch those a lot, and I don't think I've watched one in the past 3 years.
Yeah.
Well, I have a beef with them because when they did Snowpiercer,
They didn't talk about how it was a 2-hour-long Coors Light commercial.
When Snowpiercer came out, I like DM'd them on YouTube and I said, you have to do the like people start a love train to footage of Snowpiercer smashing into shit. And they ignored me. And then when they did do it, they didn't do it. And I was like, you're dead to me. That was a good joke. You know, I don't have the infrastructure or the connections to make a show like that. Or the interest. I gotta point out everything was wrong with Snowpiercer. Every single second. It was a great movie, but everything. Like the people, the rich people have to...
The entire premise.
The rich people have to walk through, like, an aquarium and a children's schoolroom if they want to, like, go to the sauna.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was
plus, like, trains derail constantly.
Yeah.
And
also, like, the world's frozen. What do? We're going to all go get on a train.
Yeah.
Sounds like somebody, certain Secretary of Transportation.
You think like
Brilliant
if you wanted
idea.
to survive in that world, you'd like find some sort of cavern.
One that wasn't
below
on
the ground to
paternity
live in.
leave his entire time.
Yeah.
What a dumb movie. It was fun though. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I did really. I mean,
oh, I'm gonna.
that's like proof that you don't need a good premise. You just need like you need to be a good storyteller.
Yeah.
And a quality.
Or you're like popcorn munching idiots will just they love schlock.
Mhm.
You know, and
I mean, there's so many like The Thing. You know, like The Thing could have been a wretched, stupid movie. There's hundreds of movies just like The Thing.
The original one.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, and
the second, third, or the one after it.
You know what? I actually watched that, and it's not a remake; it's a prequel.
Oh.
And it's not good, but at least they didn't shit all over the original. Like they didn't like try and. I say this having just said how great it is. There's a new Dune that's a shot-for-shot remake, but I mean, I was really happy they didn't make a shot-for-shot remake of The Thing.
Yeah.
It still wasn't. It's not really worth your time.
The one with Kurt Russell, is that the second one then?
Yeah.
Okay. I love that movie because of him. Well, not only because of him, but he's just so goddamn cool. And the atmosphere, like being stuck in Antarctica, you know.
I watched the Red Letter Media thing about, or maybe it was just the John Carpenter thing, but they were talking about how the movie, like, they were talking about how Kurt Russell's character, like how he makes decisions. And he's playing chess with the computer, and he's like trying to play fair, and then he just gives up and dumps his drink in it.
Yeah, dumps his whiskey.
Yeah, and
he's
like the same.
He's like cheating, bitch.
Yeah,
and then shuts.
And like the same thing happens throughout the movie, where he's got the blood and the hot wire, and he's trying to game it and figure out how to beat the alien, and eventually just like, well, I'm gonna die here, so he just goes burn it down, you know.
Red Letter Media, I think they bring this up too, where. Like, that machine must have been like 10 grand back then, and he's just like, fucking cheating bitch, and then kills it.
I know. Also, I mean...
And they brought it to Antarctica.
Yeah.
Well, and people...
Like, one thing you're going to want.
People with my condition are like, you're just dumping whiskey out like a fucking asshole. You know, like you could have drank that and gotten some water to kill your laptop, you know.
Could have went out and made a snowball and shoved that shit
or just hook it outside. It's Antarctica.
Yeah.
Can't be there very long, you know.
Yeah.
I have a new spray paint color idea. So there's olive drab.
Yes.
Black olive drab. It's just black.
It's too bad you can't like custom order spray paint, like just to be stupid.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. You were talking about bad movies.
Yeah.
Well,
so one thing I thought would be fun to talk about is, and you don't have to commit to anything, but everyone's favorite-ish bad movie, and I can't exactly decide on one, but
what like bad is in like
good bad, like the good bad or bad bad.
Because I was trying to think about this the other day, and I couldn't come up with anything because I was thinking it's like, did James mean like it was made to be a bad movie, or
no?
Like
those are almost always a sin.
Or unintentionally bad.
No, the ones that are deliberately bad are almost always regrettable. Like Sharknado.
Like all the bad movies that I like are good movies, you know?
Well, like The Room.
Yeah.
The Room's got to be close to the top of your list. I mean...
The Room's so well known now, it's hard to...
Well, that doesn't...
I love it.
Though. You're operating in a vacuum. I mean, if you're...
You've been denying being a hipster as
I'm
long
not a
as I've
hipster
known.
anymore.
You just said, well, The Room's so popular now, so I don't like it.
That is true. That is an absolute hipster cop-out. Fucking...
Yeah.
Like...
Everyone knows about that.
I mean, you're right.
I can't like it.
The Room did become way too commercial when James Franco... Dude,
man,
okay.
I still haven't seen that.
When I type my fucking name in this thing, it says... It's like... Well, I can't say my last name on this, but you type James space F, and it's like, were you going to type Franco? I'm like, no, motherfucker. I was going to type my name. You know, like, you fucking son of a bitch. Like, I'm going to go and... You know, it's like then there won't be any reason to autocorrect shit. You know, you know. Anyway, he made that stupid movie about the making of The Room.
Yeah,
which wasn't bad, but it sure wasn't important to me. You know, but it was just kind of like a, hey, all these people love this movie, and I'm such a funny guy. I think I should do it. you know?
Mm-hmm.
And anyway,
I feel like
The Room is still a hilariously, decrepit attempt at filmmaking that turned out to be really enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, there's a lot of good takeaway. Oh, hi, Denny. I don't know how many times I've said that over the years, I was thinking
They lied to me, and I don't care anymore. Saying that about the Army last week.
Yeah. I was thinking about, like, RoboCop, like, with the Stallone one. I was thinking about that as soon
Stallone RoboCop?
I'm sorry, Judge Dredd. Not RoboCop.
Oh, yeah.
Did Stallone make a RoboCop?
Well, it's tricky because, you got RoboCop, you've got the old Judge Dredd, and you have...
and they all feel the same.
Demolition Man is like they're all actually very similar. Like Demolition Man is a similar like dystopian future. Everybody these days is comparing these movies to our world.
Yeah.
Actually, like today I was listening to Sis, and they were.
They always do that.
I mean, they do, but some people have better points than others. It's like Revenge of the Sis was saying that they were like, it's like RoboCop. He's like, nah, dude, RoboCop had a sense of humor. Everybody hates everything here. It's like at least you can have good racist jokes, like in RoboCop. And he's like, that's gone, man. It's just the same thing, except we don't have a RoboCop, and everybody's just burning stuff down without any good jokes.
So like back to Dredd, it's like the intro when he first shows up and he's just like, I am the law, and he goes over that thing, and then he's like going on about. Like the other judges are like hiding behind like a car or something, and he's going on about like the effective range of whatever firearms they're using, whatever caliber, and he's like, "You're completely safe. What are you doing down there?" and I'm just like thinking, I'm like, yeah, the effective range. Well, guess what? Your armor. It's like your face is open.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Yeah.
The new one that was a good remake or whatever you call it. It's not a remake. I like the Carl Urban.
It's cool one. That you can make a whole movie set in like one apartment complex and it ends up being good.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Mm-hmm. Actually, that's one that should have been a show like Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Like a high quality TV show.
Oh yeah.
That would have been a great one because then they could have
just like another cop show but set
in,
like the Dredd universe.
With extreme crime and they had the Judge Dredd thing, but because you got one movie that was really promising and it's never going to go anywhere. There isn't going to be another one that telepath girl that was like a rookie or whatever. Like there could have been a whole story arc with her. They didn't do that. That's kind of sad.
A good segue into like one of my points I wanted to bring up tonight was about like the future of our whole world. Like talking about sci-fi and like dystopian futures. It's like
time goes forward at the rate of time.
I was like looking at stuff online. It's stuff that's like supposed to be coming out, like vehicles and stuff and weapons that are supposed to be coming out like in the near future. It's like are we living in? Do you guys think we're living in like we're headed towards a dystopian future or like a sci-fi epic paradise?
Like a really like not Blade Runner but like Terminator.
Yeah.
Or
like could these like
kind of
for example like that what's it? I mean, it's the guys that made that like jetpack thing, like the actual like the one that you see the military guys flying.
I saw
like apparently like in
so
like
stupid
in
today.
like 4. I hope it's what I'm about to mention.
Okay.
But like there's like 4 or in like 4 years they want to release this flying motorcycle.
Like a drone? Nope.
Yeah.
I have a small self-contained story that won't derail us as long as we hang on to this. But so they're in like New Zealand or maybe like Scotland, somewhere with pretty hills, and there's like a Europe-y rescue vehicle, like yellow and white with blue lights, and it's like bouncing along the road, and it's like Rural Rescue Service, blah blah blah, and they're like out gets this guy, and he's like wearing like dirt bike armor. And he starts putting on one of those jetpacks that has the wrist rocket things, like Iron Man.
Yeah.
And he takes off. And I was like, it'd be so funny if he crashed. And then the rescue wagon pulls up, picks him up, and rushes him to the hospital. But what he really did was flew up a mountain and like found a woman and her daughter just sitting there. And like lands. And then he's like,
How do we get out of here?
Yeah, he doesn't have medical supplies or anything. He pulls out a smoke grenade flare thing, like those rescue smoke things.
Yeah.
And he starts waving it, and a helicopter shows up to actually medevac them. And I'm like, oh, so we have a really dangerous, really inefficient way to fly up hills and crash yourself to get where the helicopter is 4 minutes earlier, Also, you had to drive him there, I mean, it was cool. It looks fun to fly, but I was like, it would be so much better if he was part of the rescue services and the rescue services were there to rescue him when he crashes.
So the company's, the JPA is Jetpack Aviation, and they're the ones that did
when you insert this, do a little one.
Yeah, I'll
do a little one.
Okay.
Yeah, not the whole thing.
Not the whole thing.
So
and not 5 minutes after we're talking about it.
Yep. So this jetpack thing right here
can only be flown over water just in case.
Yeah, just in case. They're making this.
Oh, they camoed it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's from Perfect Dark.
Oh.
You have that in Perfect Dark.
They're taking.
It's the same.
Apparently, they're taking pre-orders already.
How does it? Where's the wind
See
go?
Right here.
Is there a fan in the middle, like by your belly button?
I have no idea. It says JPA is developing a recreational version of the speeder and is taking pre-orders now. And I think
what's weird is that you're
2024 or something.
If that center part is like a big pusher fan and it's like balanced, like you're like crotching that thing, like if that shatters, it won't it's gonna hit you right here,
Or it's just gonna suck you into it.
Oh yeah, or that. You like wear a loose fitting shirt.
Yeah.
It's like
no capes.
Shake hands with danger.
You guys no doubt heard the Vision. What did I write? Vision 60. That Robo Dog, fucking 6'5" Creedmoor sniper.
Oh yeah, just barely. But yeah, that thing could kill us all.
Yeah.
Luckily, there's no 6.5 for sale, so I think we're safe.
How fast
unless it gets some kind of 308 conversion, we're good.
I wonder how fast the target acquisition will be.
Bet it's
apparently
like a phalanx.
A human still has to decide whether or not it takes a shot, and is that going to be efficient? Having to wait for a relay that the robot dog thing.
I mean, unless you
talking to you. And then, when you hit a button, it's pull the trigger. I
don't know. I mean, that there'll be stuff like that for a while until someone gets lazy, and they're like, oh, if you just put a piece of tape over, get that drinky bird from Simpsons, and it just hits Y, and you can go take a shit, and it kills terrorists while you're gone. And how'd it get to America? And well, we ordered a bunch of new ones. It's it's shooting everyone outside.
Yeah, I think it.
I think there was a Black Mirror episode where almost that exact thing killed everybody.
Yeah. This 6'5" Creedmoor fucking robot. Yeah. It looks like the Boston Dynamics.
Right up there.
It looks like the Boston Dynamics thing a little bit, doesn't it?
I think it's probably where it came from.
I don't think it's not the same company.
It looks cool, but it doesn't. The design aesthetic's great, but when you actually see it's a lot it's like a big lumpy head. It looks like Snoopy.
When you think about
gray, like a battleship Snoopy.
When you think about that thing traversing harder terrain, don't you think they would have went with 6 legs, so that there's always 3 points.
So it's even scarier.
3 points of contact.
Why not 8?
Yeah. No,
and it can have fangs instead of guns.
Well, wouldn't that allow it to
Yeah, I agree.
From moving to firing a lot
especially
faster?
For the gun stability. But maybe they don't care.
I wonder how.
Maybe you don't need that much stability with that.
I'm curious how it would take around.
Oh yeah, that's probably pretty important.
Well, it looks like a suppressor there.
Mm-hmm.
So you probably, that's a little target, but
does that mean it's a hush puppy?
Also, you think that. So this whole thing in the center, you think that's for an optic spot? I would imagine, right?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they have some sort of
Yeah, I agree.
Radius thing.
Maybe there's little ones on the body that.
Because
situational ones.
Real.
Well,
yeah, that does seem very.
It's more look, we can put a gun on.
Also, those big drones they have.
I think they took
might as well make it fly if they've already got it.
It's gonna be a real thing.
No, but it was at the U.S. Army's annual convention. Well, it doesn't mean it's not going to be a real thing, but they had something for them to look at, right? Which is
they want funding.
And then our fearless leader would be like, I want that dog. I love dogs.
Yeah.
Can I pet that dog?
I'll put this Robo Dog in the White House and it'll shoot all the...
It shot a Secret Service agent.
15 of them.
Yeah. Fauci could torture it.
rough. You will get vaccine.
Yeah, that's gonna be the revolution. Is the robots will actually have like a sense of fairness, but then somebody like will like torture them to.
See, the thing is, this Robo Dog is actually it's not shooting 6.5 Creedmoor ammunition. It's shooting 6.5 millimeter syringes full of COVID vaccine.
Yeah, that's worse.
It's a bit aggressive.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm shooting springs around.
Dude, I spend all week at work fucking with a pen, like, doing online training.
Yeah.
And the one kind has that like sear surface ratchet system, and I just played with it.
Mm-hmm.
First I was pretending it was like a submarine drone that had like a towed sonar array, and then I was pretending it was like an airburst fuel air bomb thing that like a MiG could drop.
Yeah.
And then I was pretending the other thing was like some kind of adhesive target marker. I thought that was the best idea, like from MechWarrior.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you shoot it at the target and it starts blinking, and then all the missiles follow that in. So you just have to hit it once, and then you can hide behind the hill and shoot more missiles with your mech.
Yeah.
You need a mech to do that, or at least the missiles.
So Reid, what's new with you?
Nothing.
Good talk.
All right. Next podcast.
Yeah.
Next podcast.
Sorry, I got nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
Nothing's new.
What's on that piece of paper before you ruined your pen?
Well, this was from the last time.
Oh.
Black Olive Drab was the newest thing.
Oh.
Didn't you ask us like a couple days ago about or was that you about the places or worlds that you'd want to live in?
Oh yeah, let me look at my notes because I don't remember what I said.
Texted that.
I don't think so.
I must have just been tired.
I'm not interesting.
I was finally able to put faces on all my friends. Well, you can't see it. There, that's Eric. I don't know. They share with the audience, all 15 of them.
You are.
Let's see. Here's my. Oh wait, Enoch, beep the.
Yeah, I'll bleep.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And let's see, I'm trying to find you Shoney's because Shoney's is the best one.
Bleep that one too, or does that matter?
Oh, I don't know. That's a tough one. Here's Shoney. It's just literally a picture of the TV I already had. Okay, there we go. Whatever. That was a waste of time for the audience.
Do I have a picture?
Yeah. What was it?
It's just your face.
Oh, you're easy. You're just this is the first one I found. So there's Reid.
I guess I'm a clown.
Okay, yeah, the notes. Two skeletons making love in a tin coffin. What the fuck? Okay. Where would you be from if you could be from anywhere? Do you want me to go first?
There's like...
Yeah.
I've already won the lottery. I was born in the USA.
Yeah. Well, so here, it's like, I wish I was Australian, but not now. I'd get to say Ute, and I'd get to say Brew. Just watching Hunt for the Wilder People, which is
I watched that last night.
My new favorite movie.
Yeah.
I was shocked how much I liked that movie.
What's the kid's name? Ricky something?
Ricky Baker.
Ricky Baker. What's the song they sing?
It's like she makes a song for his birthday, and she's got like a little...
but they all keep saying Ricky Baker.
Ricky Baker. But the best part, though, is Sam Neill plays like a bitter old guy, and he's just a bitter piece of shit, but he's really cool.
Well, he ends up being a sweetheart to the kid at the end.
Yeah.
And then they make him out to crucify him for being a pedophile, which he's not in the movie.
Yeah,
right?
Everybody thinks he's a pedophile. He's on the run with this kid because the kid's like an orphan, and
help! He's molestering me. I am not molestering him.
Well, the kid gets mad at him because they're like he's about to surrender. And the kid's just like, he's molesting me. And like all the like Aussie hunter guys are just like, oh, coming after him. But
You can't stop
I'm
me
not
from
even
doing that.
clapping today.
What, are you just tired or what?
Yeah. For 12 hours a day for
Yep.
4 days now.
Do you want to speak to somebody?
Talking to you guys.
We all got.
Oh yeah, Reid doesn't want to speak to anybody.
We all got to work and then do this. Buck up, Buttercup.
I drove an hour and a half to get here. That was an odd way to say that. It was an odd pause.
I drove for 2 hours to get here at the same time you did.
I kind of feel bad because I thought you were just going to be in town this weekend.
Well, I really needed that key anyway. Also, I really wanted my backpack. Trying to gather up and sort out gear for the big winter expedition.
Oh, yeah.
Which we were probably not completely unqualified for if it's at
all
all chilly.
Be that bad. Because can you actually stay on that trail? Is that like a thing that you're... Okay.
It's public land.
I figured you could.
Well, I always figure, like, what, are they going to come get you?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
like,
Hey!
like 14 miles later, it's like, hey, you! Go home!
Go home, get out of here!
You're ugly.
You're ugly.
I've been really struggling to get like a respectable cold weather pants layering system. And I'm not going to say like on a budget, but you know, I don't want to buy like $1,000 Arc'teryx. Actually, I found like $80 outdoor research pants are like Chinesium, but I'm pretty optimistic about them because they're not insulated. They're just a hard shell for like when it's wet and rainy.
All I'm going to do is just a series of insulating layers underneath like a canvas pant, and I'm just going to wax the pants.
That sounds funny. But yeah.
Reid probably knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I have some wax.
It's wax.
You can wax canvas. You just rub it in and then like hair dryer it.
Or like pour candles. And then you like just let it crack.
Yeah. Sometimes those older methods are like, they're cheaper and they work just as good. You know, and it's all about layering anyway, unless you want to pay $400 to $600 for a pair of pants.
No, even then it's still about layering.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't realize, like off the cuff, but those Equix, I don't know if it was ever part of the 7-layer, but like the black fleece suspenders, those are like $20 on eBay for any size or shape.
Yeah.
And I actually really like those. I haven't had them in years. I don't think we had them on our deployment. I think I had to give them back at Bragg. But anyway, I bought a pair of those on eBay, and I love them because they have the zippers along the outside of the legs.
Yeah.
So you can...
Like a Carhartt?
Yeah, just they're softer and maybe a little more fragile. But
I mean, zipper.
And depending on how cold it is, too, whenever we do that...
it's going to be 70 degrees.
Yeah.
December.
I doubt it. But
it was last year.
Okay, well, we'll see.
This is a new look for us.
It's like fucking children and adults. We just swap roles.
Snippy couple going to church talk.
If it is cold, you might not.
We're gonna be late.
If it is real cold, you won't have to worry about water as much as.
That's true.
You know, wind and moisture waking.
I was thinking about
sweating,
that. Like my summer pack space. I mean, like out there, it's at least 25% water. You know, because there isn't like finding, like you find a low area and it's just dense mud. You're not gonna find never mind like sitting water you could filter. There's like no water, you know. So you end up packing almost all your water, and you get used to this giant pack. But it's
finding a stock tank somewhere.
Hell, if it's cold, I might just go wool trousers over top of layers, you know, and then bring an extra pair of something to change to fight the wind or something.
I mean, my complete plan is I have like merino wool long john things that are I don't know, moisture wicking, blah, blah, blah. And they got zippers around them. And then I was going to wear just normal outdoor pant, the suspenders, and then the hard shells. Yeah. Assuming, you know,
we're talking
low
about
movement, little sweat, you know.
We're talking about like gear and clothing for this trip, but we haven't mentioned what this is, and I don't know if we want to.
I thought we did.
Did we on the last one?
I thought so.
Oh yeah, we did.
We
could reiterate.
Yeah, so this is in case you didn't hear the last one, we were talking about hiking.
It's the fans' obligation to go back and watch another previous episode.
Yeah, fuck the fans.
Yeah, they should just know what we're talking about. But it's just a 2-day camping trip. Maybe not. Maybe one night even. Just not since everyone has to work all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But Anyway, though, yeah, I'm trying to, like the sleep system's pretty squared away. I've got the biggest thing is I am not a fan of tents, and I might end up being a tent camper in this situation. I like the shelter half. I'll say shelter half.
I've been looking at bivvies, and also
tarp thing.
Depending on how cold it is, it might be like, I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on it, but might end up, if it ends up being cold, it might turn into one of those like you got to shack up in one tent kind of situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To be honest.
Or have a stove.
Or you're gonna carry that on the trail.
Yeah. It's really light.
Oh.
It's like flat titanium segments that clip into each other, and there's like a rolled up piece you make into a chimney, and
like a pound or something.
But I don't know, what I find is it's like it's all tested in summer, and I wanna like prove it in winter.
Yeah.
But I think what I'm gonna do is camp like in the backyard one bad day, so I can bail if it goes bad. Yeah. But because I have all the pieces and
should we just all do that?
Yeah, if you guys are game.
Like
you could test what you got and see what you.
It's not a dry run. It's not a full wet run. It's a moist run.
Yeah.
It's still cold and shitty out, but like we can go inside if we want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's only like, I don't know, 8th mile, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, something like that, because yeah, I've got a ground tarp that's Versta Lake, a ground tarp. I don't know who made it. It's like the Boonderspheres ground tarp.
You don't even need an expensive ground tarp,
I mostly just don't want my sleeping pad popped.
You just don't want
That's the biggest thing.
You just don't want to I've been camping with so many people that just bring like a regular, like out and like camping on the water and stuff, bringing just a regular tarp, which works fine if you're out in the woods, but like when the ground is wet, it just leaches through there.
Well, like tarps aren't waterproof anymore.
Really right for that. No.
Like something changed. Like the tarp companies all got together and they're like, let's just weave that awful
let's just go cheaper
sandbag shit.
Yeah.
Like, why can't I pay more money for a good tarp, like good hardware store tarp?
Mm-hmm.
But it just ain't out there. It's either that like blue or gray woven sandbag stuff.
Better off with like.
There's probably like a tent company that'll do it, just like Montana Canvas or something.
I was thinking about just buying like a roll of reinforced poly and then like cutting it to a big square and then like just rolling over and stitching the edges so it doesn't keep fraying apart.
Yeah, I mean
I'm having deja vu. I could have sworn we've had this exact conversation
about reinforced poly.
We only talk about so many things.
Or probably talk about reinforced poly.
He's probably
for something.
He's probably gonna say Tyvek next.
Like for a tent, and then really? Tyvek was brought up.
Oh my god, I'm not having deja vu.
I mean, there's only so many.
I might have dreamed it.
What the fuck do we talk about? We talk about guns and movies.
And apparently reinforced poly.
And every now and then we fantasize about doing something outdoorsy, and it never really comes up. Where we never actually leave the house. We don't like. That shooting class Reid and I went to was like the first interesting thing I've done in 2 years. Like, and we were totally civilized. Like there was an outlet there, and there's a shower shack, and it was not really
3 grills.
Yeah, I had my sweet Jetboil hamburger shaped grill.
Mm-hmm.
It's like not supposed to look like a hamburger, but it does. I was really I was really excited to test that out, and then Reid's like, "Well, I've got a grill already on my tailgate," and then Eric had like. Well, I've got my giant grill because I'm a white guy. That's like
it's like the one you
summertime.
Pull out of the
It
was like a big grill, but it folded up.
It's like
there's like 3 guys all doing that.
You're pretty much car camping, and if you're car camping, you might as well bring that shit.
Oh yeah, and I'm not ashamed of it. I'm ashamed of the fact that's the most outdoorsy I got. And, the summer before, I went mountain biking by myself 3 times out of 4 good months. 4-ish months.
That's what I was like saying before on like one of the I think it was the last podcast, but if I don't end up going, or if you guys don't end up going next year or something, like 1 year, you guys should come up north.
To the boundaries. Yeah. And I'd love to. I'd absolutely love to. It's like the
it's a lot more cozy up there, like
the literal logistics of everything, where
like
you make plans and they fall through.
Yeah, It's a tough one because it's one of those trips that you have to plan in advance or you're not going to get your spot.
Mm-hmm.
Because like each entry point, they only allow certain a certain amount of people to access it per day, and then you're paying for the amount of days you're out on the water. And it's kind of weird too because you're out in the wilderness, but they have like there's some stuff that isn't like wildernessy. Like they have camps they want you to use. They're all over the place. You know, there's tons of them, and you got to find them sometimes. Sometimes they're hard to find. You know, because
California North,
because they don't want people out there clearing woods to make a camp.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a good point.
So it makes sense. And then they got like each camp has like a basically a little like graded fire pit thing that's like yay tall. You know, they want you to use that too, but and then they don't want you like cutting down trees, but there's always like tons of down timber and you're good to cut down timber. You know, it's stuff like that. You know.
Okay.
So that's about as comforting as it gets out there. That's about it. It's like wind, rain, and mosquitoes is like the three things, because the forecast, every time we go out there, it storms at least 2 of the days. You know, it's like either constant rain or a thunderstorm. You know, it's been like, I think like 2 years ago, there was like I don't know if it was like Boy Scouts or some church group or something, like they had a big, I think a kid got killed out there or something, but they had a group.
Lightning?
Yeah, it came down on a tree and fell on the camp.
Oh, like lightning hit a tree and crushed him?
Yeah.
Like a widowmaker?
Something like that, yeah.
Oh, man. That sucks.
Because we read about that. It actually might have been, I think it was 2 years ago. I think it happened the same year, like a couple months before we went out there the last time.
They always say that in the, like...
Oh, wait, that was last year.
Wilderness survival thing.
That was last year, I think, because we went out there last year. No.
Whether you're right or not, pick one, and we can move on.
No, I did.
Just say yes, and we'll move on.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I went last year. We were talking about going this summer. We decided because of work we didn't go this summer, and we're talking about going
okay.
That's why I was thinking there's a summer in there where we didn't go, and it's the summer that just happened. That's right.
Yeah, what worries me is I'll be like 70 by the time I actually get around to this. Like
I'll just have to throw you in the truck and be
like we just alternate. Like we buy gear, we get excited, we watch YouTube videos, we don't go, we buy gear. You know,
the best part about it is like you just need like to be able to fit everything within a pack, and that's it. You know, maybe a couple of things you carry with you by hand. But
having water be abundant
like you already
sounds so cool.
If I have everything I need to go to the Boundary Waters, you both have everything you need to go there. You know, to be good at it. You know, and I mean, for fuck's sakes, kids go out there with like teenagers and they stay the night. You know, but they don't go out. Like you see a lot of people day tripping it out there. You don't see a lot of people going for 7+ days. Then we came across a group. I think we came across a group it was on the border of Canada. Like basically like this island was America. It was a channel of water, and then it was Canada. It was Ontario, you know. And
you just walked up on these like guard towers and barbed wire fence and people in pajamas, and they're like, I had COVID.
That's what's crazy about the Boundary Waters is there's no border. Like you can cross into Canada, and there's signs that hang up like on the border. It just says, report to immigration within 30 days or whatever. Or I think it's like within 30 days of being in there. And that's all there is. But there was a group of guys, I think there was like 5-6 guys camped out with like, they didn't have a wall tent, but they had like a bunch of tarps hanging over their base camp. I think they had been out there for like 30 days. They were just wild, you know.
Just like to go on a booze and meat run and come back.
Something, They just had been staying out there. And yeah, if you can afford to do that, because it's not the cheapest trip in the world, but it's one that's worth it. It's definitely cheap if you already have the gear. Because the permitting is, I think, it's only maybe $20 a day or something for the actual permit. But then, if you're fishing, that's when stuff kind of gets a little pricier. But to be honest, if you're going out there expecting to eat fish every night, you're probably gonna go hungry. So we always bring food. So we always have like one duffel bag with like dry bags in it. That's just food, you know, or like we're talking about getting a food barrel, but
like bear proof. Is that mandatory? Like the
Yeah, we stay on islands
places
all the time, so we've never hung any of our food whenever we've been out there. If we're staying on the mainland, we'd probably consider it.
Have you ever seen those? I don't know which parks or which trails or whatever, but like you have to have that solid plastic canister like you can't just go hang a bag of food safe from your campsite. It's got to be this like little
a black
pail.
Bear, even if you hang your food, a black bear can still get that. You know?
Yeah.
You think?
And that's what's out there.
Yeah.
But anyway, that thing looks cumbersome.
Yeah. And everybody's. My brother-in-law and I were just talking about this a couple weekends ago, and the Portage Packs, like guys that go out there all the time buy these Portage Packs. They're a backpack. There's like no frame to them whatsoever.
Like this, like Sea to Summit.
Yeah.
Completely dry bag things.
Yeah, it's like a dry bag with straps on it. Those things are fucking garbage. I don't think I'll ever buy one. They're like anywhere from $200 to $400 depending on the how many meters you get.
I think First Spear makes like $1,000 one, and it's got nothing like special.
None of them have frames, like proper frames, and you think that would be pretty critical, you know, if they just look like these flimsy packs.
Yeah.
So I'm like, just get a ruck, and you're good to go. I think like Chris brings like an actual army ruck all the time, and packs everything into there. And you know that big bulky piece of shit.
Oh, like the ACU?
Yeah. Like
oh,
that one.
no.
Yeah, he brings that one.
Man, we should all chip in and get Chris a backpack that's not that.
Ain't a big deal. Because like
you get him an Alice pack.
You see those all the time out there. And they actually work really well for the Boundary Waters. But you don't need that much space. I fit everything I need into a 72-hour pack, basically. Besides like my tent I strapped to the side of the pack.
It's a 72-hour pack, basically a 3-day ruck.
What's that shitty, like, the last... God damn it.
Sorry.
It's that shitty, like, 511 pack, you know? Like,
with the thong, webbing thong that you can, like, put a blanket under?
The one that weighs 10 pounds empty.
Yeah. That's what I brought, like, the last couple times, just because that's the pack I have. Now I got a better pack.
I don't know why I hate that so much. Like, that made me mad in Ghost Recon, where, like, you couldn't just not have a backpack.
But it worked for me.
I mean...
Like, I fit everything I needed in there.
Well, it didn't seem like it wasn't durable. It just... I was like, what is this yoke thing that... You know, it's like, anytime there's something I don't understand, I just kind of get mad, and I'm like, just cut this off, because it does nothing.
Like,
you know, and...
I don't like how heavy it is when it's empty.
One pair of clothes, maybe, like, pants, shorts... you definitely need like a long sleeve and a sweater or some sort of layer to cut the wind, especially because we go out in like June, so it's not terribly cold. It gets chilly at night though, so you always have a couple layers. But other than that, it's like I'm either not wearing underwear out there or I bring maybe 2 pairs. You fucking bathe in the lakes, you know, there's thousands of them. And then you wash your clothes in the lake if you want to hang them up on a tree. You know, you don't need much clothing. You just need the right clothing.
It feels kind of stupid.
And you're sitting around a fire all night. It's not like if you got a warm sleeping bag, you're not going to freeze. You're going to sit around a fire, and then you're going to go climb in your warm sleeping bag.
Yeah.
You know.
Last spring, I was watching all these AT videos, all these people that like vlogged their trip up the AT. And I got really excited about it. And at the time, they were asking people to quit and take like a severance. And I didn't take it, you know. And I was like, oh, we'll hold out. And like, then I kind of jumped ship, took a different job, and completely forgot about that. But I was like, if I quit here, I'm going to quit for like 6 months. And like, it doesn't matter when, like season wise. But I was like, that'd be so cool to do. And like, the one thing I was watching said that it would probably cost you about $4,000, depending on how frugal you were, but typically you end up like at tourist traps and you're just eating like mountain houses, and even the cheap food is expensive. But it's like, when are you supposed to go do that? Is that like something college students do that in summer?
Sorry, this thing's probably picking that up. Like,
I'm sure.
Maybe you could wax that after you finish with your pants.
I need to buy a hairdryer so I can
what do you
wax
got?
my coats this year.
Beeswax you got? Is that what it is?
I don't know. Let's go grab it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Get out of here. Stupid table.
Yeah, because I was thinking, I don't know, I'll probably just wear, like, if I can find a good wax, I'll probably just wax up the old Duluth pants and just wear those, you know, over top of layers, because that's what I wear in the winter anyway.
I mean,
that's what I'm wearing hunting this year.
What's got me all hemmed up is that, like, I've got good winter gear, but none of it's for like duration hikes. It's for like fixing fences in a blizzard, and it's designed where you can get in your work truck or whatever. Yeah. And there's things like that you know, it's kind of back to that Bourne Legacy intro, you know.
Fall Raven Greenland wax.
Oh.
Hmm.
But and then the top layers, which I've got lots of choices, but
well, we're not going to see what the other side says, so I ripped it off.
Do you get, in case we get like just for some reason a shit ton of snow? Do you guys own snowshoes?
No,
but I think my dad has a pair that I can always steal, and work has 2 pairs that just sit there.
They're not that bad. Like the pair I have weren't. I don't think they're that bad. I think they're like $120. They're not bad ones. They're good. They're aluminum.
What's one of those industries where you've got to figure out what you want? You know, there's like all these micro directions.
Don't lick it.
You know, there's like
a bunch of hair and shit stuck to it.
I didn't lick the hair.
You've got like authentic Arctic ones, and then you've got like hunting ones, and you've got like Canadian patrolman's ones, you know, and it's like, well, what's the damn difference? And well, one's for like, you know, like Antarctica has dry snow, you know, and like, like, God damn it, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I want.
I'm never gonna get that much into it. I just have some, and I've gone snowshoeing before, and it's great if you have a lot of snow, and it's nice to have light ones because if you're going into an area where you got a lot of snow, and then all of a sudden you're moving through an area that you don't need them, because if you got no snow, they're a hindrance to walk in.
Yeah, I mean that makes perfect sense. Otherwise so you wear them all the time.
You just want them light enough to pack around. That's all. You know, so aluminum ones are pretty good.
I mean that's the other thing too, is I might own some, but you know our snowfall here is always so minimal. It's just like cold, and you can see all the dead grass. You know. Yeah. But anyway, I'm interested.
Saved my ass on the lake one time. Up north, I don't want to mention where, but
where?
Yeah. Anyway, it's a spring-fed lake, and a buddy. I
couldn't get it out of him.
A buddy Ben and I, we were out snowshoeing across the lake, and we had a bunch of snow then. And we're walking, and we found a spot that we didn't realize was like one of the spots where the spring was coming up, and it got real soft. And he's ahead of me, and we're just going, and then we look down, and all of a sudden we notice like our footprints were just like from the snow, with the snowshoes was just sinking and just filling up with water. Oh. And we're like, oh no. So we just like, and we looked back behind us, and every footprint was like that for like 30 feet. So we're like, oh, we're in it now, you know? So we just kept going, you know, just kept crossing, and we never fell through, but I mean, it wouldn't have been it was a lake, you know, it's not the end of the world if you fall.
Could be.
We got pulled.
Depending on how bad everything else went, it could be.
Like panic mode, just spread everything out.
You never know, though. That might you might have that jumper ability. And the only way to know
is to fall into icy water. Yeah.
And then you pray Sam Jackson doesn't come for you.
You pray.
Yeah. Or you pray that you get picked up for some more Star Wars movies.
It's like, if you had that ability, why wouldn't you rob a bank?
I know, right?
You know?
What else would I do?
And who would have knew there would have been a whole organization bent on hunting these motherfuckers down?
You know what I'd do? I'd like weld up I don't know what you could bring with you, but I'd go buy a spacesuit and I'd think about the moon. Go see what... you know, it wasn't there. It's a space station. It's like 40 miles up.
No. That's no moon.
Yeah. But yeah, the base layers, the sleep system, the footwear, and then like ancillary gear you don't even need that you end up bringing because you know, like there's just a whole bunch of shit where I was like, am I bringing the nods? Like it'd be fucking cool to have the nods out there, so I'm almost certainly gonna bring them.
Oh, this be as well.
You know.
Sure.
That's what it says.
Does Greenland have bees?
I think they do. Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Greenland wouldn't be cool with that.
Like everywhere has bees.
I think there's I haven't seen it in a while. I think it used to be on Netflix. There was a documentary called, I think, Bees or something.
That makes sense. Was it about bees?
It was about...
it was about the high seas, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, B instead of C.
But I think they filmed some apiaries in, I think, Greenland It was either Green. It wasn't Iceland, I don't think. So maybe it was Iceland.
What's that
Could have been
fucking trick?
Iceland.
Well, it's like
You like trick the Vikings into
Iceland would
just
make
going back to Norway?
Iceland's warm enough, I don't know.
There must be bees because
There must be.
everywhere Alaska
Everybody
had bees.
has,
You know, there's flowers.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I'm gonna be right back.
Okay, bye.
okay, bye.
Don't fall in love while I'm gone.
You're sick. I like how he doesn't say where he's going.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
He just
to the bathroom.
drives to Arby's real quick. Like, I didn't think you'd miss me for. It's only 25 minutes. You know.
Oh, we're at an hour.
Oh, okay. Is that thing okay?
It's still going.
Oh, all right.
Eric clapped.
Eric Clapton.
Yep.
We're at 1 hour. I feel like sadly we don't completely have the material we usually have,
No.
but I don't know. Everybody worked today.
Also, everything I read on the news, I don't want to talk about here
Yeah.
because it just pisses me off. This is supposed to be fun times.
Yeah. We haven't talked about that much though, like that, have we? We haven't talked about two skeletons making love in a tin coffin.
No, we have not.
So Rotor is a bad movie that
Adam
Riff-
Savage stole a line from.
he did.
Was it Rotor?
What line?
I reject your reality and substitute my own. Wasn't that from that movie?
No. This movie's not that insightful, whatever that was. And I've heard Adam Savage say that, but I don't know where it's from.
Well, the movie it came from wasn't insightful. It might not have been Rotor.
It could have been. I don't know. Because Adam Savage is like super friends with those Riff Tracks guys. Even though I don't really care for Adam Savage. It's like he gets invited to everything neat, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you like The Expanse? Well, you better stop it because Adam Savage likes The Expanse, so now it's his thing. You know, and it's like, oh, he's with all the stars on the set looking at all the spaceships, controls and guns and stuff. And you're like, okay. You know, it's like he's the only guy that gets to be a fan of Alien.
Yeah.
I mean,
and Blade Runner.
Yeah, and Blade Runner. But, and in any case, though, Rotor...
When he made that Blade Runner gun, he's like, he was talking about, because he bought a real, like, Mannlicher action or whatever it is. It's like, I would never own anything that could hurt someone.
Yeah, he was talking about like...
You're over there at the table saw, like...
Yeah, I know.
Just staring at it.
The bandsaw like this.
Yeah.
Like, or he's like running the lathe and he's just like reaching right over it, you know, stuff that any high school shop kid would know better than to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then they even said, like, in the comments, he was like, well, you guys called me out on it, but I'm so insanely afraid of this table saw that I could never hurt myself. And you're like, that's not really how that works.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I was kind of
Being afraid of something doesn't mean it's not going to hurt you someday.
Yeah. I was sort of waiting for Adam Savage's name to come up on the Alec Baldwin thing.
Oh.
I was just like, was Adam Savage there? Like, did he have a car that had golf ball texture built in? And like, I don't know why, but I just had this feeling like the Mythbusters crew was there to create even,
Yeah.
We don't know what we're doing. Second beer. Do you need a beer?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Well, it's weird how that whole Alec Baldwin...
That was my foot. I'm not, what's his name?
Alec Baldwin?
No, Scars.
Scatman.
Stallwell?
Let's talk about Scatman Crothers.
I just
Stallwell?
locate and detect. I just, no, I can't do it.
Whoa.
It was the mug.
Locate and detect. You got any more of those?
High Life? Maybe.
I haven't had one in
There's
forever.
a Coors in here.
I can't take Reid's Coors.
Damn.
I think it's Enox.
We don't, Shoney.
That's right.
All that's cold is Coors.
It's fine. Old
You want a warm
Faithful.
High Life?
Old Faithful. I got
Okay.
it.
It's real. It's what do you call it? It's not Coors Light. It's
Banquet.
The Champagne.
Isn't... Oh.
Ah, shit.
Oh, Coors Original?
Yeah.
That's the better one.
I
I always thought Coors Light tastes like soap. It's.
I mean,
and I can't even drink Bud Light anymore. I was on a Bud Light kick for like a while, like a couple years back, and now every time I drink that, it just tastes like it's like a beer that's trying to taste like candy. It's just not hitting the mark. You know, it's like a kid. I don't know.
So all these beers, I think, they're cheap, and at the same time, they're all like good enough to have one.
Yeah,
you know, whatever. They're
I
cheap.
mean, that's the thing. Is like
I like High Life
every
more than
one of
Coors
them.
Light.
Every one of them tastes good to me. It just depends what beer I had before I had that beer. You know what I mean? I'm sure
I'm
sure that's the way with everybody.
I drew a duck.
One time I was drinking like a stout or an IPA or something crazy, and then I ordered a Stella Artois, you know, to see what that was like, and it tasted like tap water.
Isn't it weird that
there was nothing to it?
It's strange to
you know?
me that people drink that beer.
My mom loves that beer.
It doesn't taste like it. Even if that was your first drink of the night, it doesn't taste like anything.
Yeah, I mean, you almost doubt there's like that makes Coors seem like a strong beer.
Yeah,
you know, like oh, this is, and I'm not just bashing it, but it's expensive. And
one beer, I don't know. One beer.
We should play the Metal Gear Solid.
What? Oh yeah, it's because we went over the. We're an hour or two in. That's why.
We knew that. We were like almost at an hour.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about what I told you about that, about the camera issue. About the 29 minutes 90.
It isn't actually film.
Seconds.
Yeah,
it's in the computer now.
Oh. What's weird about pictures too is like.
Are you gonna go ahead and tell me what the thing was?
I thought I'm sorry.
You said I didn't tell you.
No, I'm sorry. I meant I told you both. I forgot that I told you.
Oh,
the tax thing.
Yeah,
taxing the cameras differently if they're movie cameras.
What's weird though is like pictures nowadays. It's strange because
shit.
like everybody's mother and grandmother has like hordes of family photos. Like our generation's not gonna have those things because everything was captured digitally, and then you get a new phone and.
Well, I mean, everybody uploads it to the cloud though. Like.
I've never
don't
accessed the cloud.
We don't.
Yeah.
Everybody else does.
I don't even really know how to access the cloud.
Yeah, I don't either. But like when I broke my iPhone,
you go.
Like I didn't sign up for a
You
cloud.
got to go on the computer and buy basically a ticket. Then you go to this big building, and then some guys like X-ray all your stuff, and then you wait, and they call your boarding number, and then you get on the plane, and then you go up to the cloud.
They take
Is it an escalator?
No, it's a plane taking off.
When it gets there, you just get pushed off, and you fall through the cloud to your death.
At 10,000.
But on your way down, you get a look at all your family photos.
What was that movie?
In the cloud.
What was that movie?
Terminator.
No, just jumping out at 10,000 feet reminded me of this. The Guns of Navarone. Fucking great. Killer fucking movie, man.
I'm so mad because I started it one time
it's so
and it was buffering. Like
long ass movie, but the acting is just fucking incredible.
And Harrison Ford's in it, right?
No.
I thought Harrison Ford was
Force 10 to Navarone.
Force 10 from Navarone.
From Navarone. Oh, that's another
anyway, just the fucking...
Which one did they climb the cliff in?
Guns of
Navarone. Oh, okay. So that is what
I'm gonna insert a clip in here, like my favorite scene. It's fucking nuts.
Or like a guy in a banana suit doing the worm.
No, it's like the
You could do that.
Like the main dude, like the officer in charge. He's like,
I need to learn how to edit stuff so I can edit some of these, and when Nick says stuff like that, I can put in something completely random and stupid.
I'll fucking teach you. Although I don't know how you get
It's not that hard. Nick taught himself graphic design in 3 hours.
Yeah.
And he's actually doing pretty good.
I have never opened iMovie.
I use this, the Premiere Pro, but I
also believe it's from 2013.
I stopped paying for it. Mine's from 2020. I stopped paying for it.
Stop. They're going to find you.
Yeah.
Like the BBC.
Yeah, probably. I can't.
No, Adobe.
I'm not gonna say.
They're going to throw bricks at him.
Yeah, they're going to leave their huts on a warpath.
This is probably a super common workaround, but I'm not going to talk about how I.
Do you think the Adobe home
Premiere
offices are
free.
built into a mountain? That this whole Southwest theme thing went too far. We're actually totally out of space.
I believe those are Pueblos, not.
Oh. Like
Adobe is like when you make mud bricks.
Like the information help desk people.
Anyway, I don't think I
Paul
can.
Pueblo.
I don't think I could get you
Sure.
Premiere Pro without, like on your computer without paying for it.
Just use
I don't know
DaVinci,
how
dude.
it-
DaVinci is
I'll
fine
use
for
something
almost
else.
everything.
Yeah.
We don't have to use the same thing.
That's true. It is. You know what's surprising? Like for the Adobe softwares that I have used, because I have no experience with Photoshop. I've never even messed with it. But using Illustrator compared to Adobe Premiere Pro is... I cannot understand fucking Illustrator. And maybe if I give it another shot now, like now understanding Adobe software a little bit better, maybe I'd have a better time with it. Because I started out with Illustrator and then I went to Premiere Pro. And Premiere Pro is fucking a cakewalk. And there's like no good tutorials or nothing online for Illustrator.
Oh,
Like because you can, with all these Adobe programs, you can have all your panels set up a specific way. Then they show you, oh, it's easy. You just go here and click this and click this and click this, and then you go and click those same buttons, and none of it's in there. And you're like, oh, maybe I need the updated version. And it's like, for something that's, you're looking for a simple question, like how to paint fill a certain section. It's like, how come when I click my paint fill button and I go and fill a section, nothing happens? Well, it's like, well, maybe my lines aren't connected. So then you bring up where your lines are connected. Everything's connected, and I'm like, I don't understand why the paint fill thing's not working. And here I bought like a $400 fucking drawing pad for Illustrator that I don't use anymore. I might sell it unless we get some use out of it. And yeah, no Illustrator. But I'm pretty sure
I can show you how to use Illustrator, but first, you need to illustrate.
I make all my stuff in Paint.
Well, see, what I do is I draw, when I was doing stuff with Illustrator, I draw it up by hand. And then upload it in, and I trace what I'm drawing that way. Because for me, like I can draw.
It's kind of cheating.
I can draw with
The guy who drew it originally probably pissed.
Yeah, I can. So I
You can't trace.
So I'm okay for my standards. I'm okay at drawing with ink or with graphite. But when I get onto just a drawing program, my hand, like it with the stylus, with the pen, it just fucking doesn't work the same way, you know.
The little time I've spent, same story.
I upload something I've already drawn, and then I trace what I drew to try to get the result, you know. And then you basically just put that sketch at your backmost layer, and then once you're done with your drawing, you delete that layer.
The raster layer thing.
Yeah.
Like you smash them all down together when you've.
Well, you can add an infinite amount of layers, you know, and then so you make sure that one's at the way back, so that way you can keep adding stuff to it all, and then you can even lock that one so nothing that you draw actually attaches to that layer. I just can't figure out the color fill thing. I've been trying to make graphics for t-shirts for fucking ever. Yeah, I try using that.
But you're saying there's probably like a little gap in the line somewhere that you can't see.
Because like I'll pick the color for the fill, and I'll grab that paint tool or that bucket tool, and I'll click on the section that I'm trying to fill, and nothing happens. Nothing.
That's how Fusion is.
The only time I got it to work once, and it filled everything, and that's when I was like, okay, well, I have a line connecting issue. But then you blow up your image and try to find every single connecting point, and then you're like, everything's over. Like I've even like had, it's the battery this time.
Well, that's the weird thing too.
I can't.
What do you call the Revit? The architectural one?
Yeah, that one's Revit.
So at ALC, I was trying to help a kid with Revit because he had like homework due it was like Saturday night and he had homework due even though he was at ALC. And he's like, I don't know how to use this. And I'm like, well, I know how to use Fusion. And I look at it and I'm like, oh, it's the same, dude. We got this. But everything runs a little different.
Yeah.
You know, like the trim feature doesn't work the same in Revit as it does in Fusion. No. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And he's like, well, you got it anyway. I'm like, that's not right. You won't get points for this. And he's like, that's close enough. You know, he's like, I'm shooting for a C here. You know, but it's remarkable how, like,
I have
an entire
team. A semester doing just regular AutoCAD, a semester doing Revit, a semester doing Civil 3D. And the only one I use now is Civil 3D.
Is that an Autodesk program?
Yeah.
Oh.
It works and looks just like regular AutoCAD, but it's tied to the earth kind of thing.
I feel like even with like video editing software, like having used Premiere Pro for so long now, and I'm getting used to the tricks and learning new stuff every time I edit. If I move to like a free version of editing software, even going to like Apple Movie Maker or whatever it is,
iMovie.
I feel like it won't.
iRobot.
Like I've almost spoiled myself. Like it won't have the features I want it to do.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that.
Like all the little trimmings. Like
just everything. Like there's so much you can do.
No, it has those.
There's so much you can do with Premiere.
Because like DaVinci's great. The only thing DaVinci seems to lack, and it's there, but it's not easy to use. But like if you want to put text on the screen or something, it's like do you want it high, medium, or center? You can't like put it where you want it.
It's like I had to learn how to blur out your nips that day, and it was like I had no idea how to do it. There's not just like a blur tool where you can just click one thing and put it. Do you have to like apply 3 different?
Yeah, like
effects?
Have Reid hold a piece of plexiglass that's like covered in Vaseline.
Well, you got to add like a compound blur, then a mosaic, then an opacity thing, and then some other effect. You have to have 3 effects on there, and then you alter them.
Mean, median, and mode.
Crop effect. You have to put a crop effect on there as well. But you have to duplicate. So you have to basically cut that specific spot in the footage, duplicate it, move that image on top of the image that you're playing, then then use those 3 effects to alter or to do that blur effect, and then delete your original, and then move that new one down into it. It takes some time. There might be an easier way to do it.
An Instagram filter. You could just like cut the footage and play footage of you filming the footage with an Instagram filter, and then go back to
there might be an easier way to do it, but that was the way I found it. You know, and maybe who knows? Maybe there's an easier way now, but I just don't have the updated software. But everything that I have in the update, the furthest or the latest update I have for it is all I think we'll ever need until we start getting crazy. Something pops up.
Yeah. All right, I have one thing I'm just dying to talk about, and it's Warhammer 40K. And I want to talk about the weird ass names all the things in Warhammer have. And I invented one. Okay, so you have like
if you're not familiar, Warhammer 40K is a
futuristic space.
Very far. So it's 40K. Year 40,000.
Yeah.
In the future, and like the whole galaxy or universe or whatever multiverse is just at all out war. Like everything is
there's
war.
All sorts of aliens, and there's different humans that are all
just a preface.
Everyone's kind of hanging by a thread trying to win these fights.
The whole thing. And
humanity's sort of gone back to a new dark age where you have like sort of clergy-ish things. You have like
there's a lot of religious.
What do you call inquisitors? You have inquisitors. They're looking for like demonic alien possessions or whatever.
Like what are the priests called? There's several different ones. Like
Grey Knights.
There's like librarians and there's a whole like sections of priests involved within.
And they all have these names. You can probably rattle off more than me, but there's like intercessors or whatever do something, and there's all these titles. I actually don't know
that much about 40K. I know a little bit, but not you. Hell, you probably know more than I
know even less.
I know.
It's a cool.
I know a lot about the Space Marines.
Yeah.
And I found out like
specific. I think
they get neutered when they take like a buff ass human and they turn them into a Space Marine. And they do all these things. They alter their genome, and they have like they're really strong, and they change their brain chemistry so they never have to sleep. And there's just all these mods. It's like Master Chief from Halo, but kind of more extreme. They have like a venom sac.
Really reminiscent of, or like I feel like Halo kind of stole something from 40K with the whole we're going to alter children at a young age and then turn them into these super soldiers.
And many.
Like a normal human, you get into a power suit or what are they called?
Power armor.
Power armor.
Yeah,
like, you'll die.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and so many. I mean, to be fair, like Halo stole a lot from Warhammer. I don't even
think they can get out of their power armor. I think you're in it.
They can get out. They can get out. The Space Marines can. There's what are they called?
Dreadnoughts?
Yeah, the Dreadnoughts are like a wounded guy, and he's just like what's left of him is just put in there like
into a mech
cyborg thing. It's like RoboCop, but it's a big moving house thing with guns that looks kind of silly.
Well, they have small ones too that are like probably 10, 12 feet tall. In comparison, well, the Dreadnoughts the gigantic ones? What are they?
No, those are Titans.
Oh, that's right.
And those are just like mechs basically, but the Dreadnoughts are like a corpse, an animated, their circulatory system and brain are still together, but everything else is shot. So they like hook their nerves up. So now they turn them into a tank basically. But so I invented a title for one of these guys that goes on these like rogue trader quests or whatever. And I was thinking,
Rogue Trader is a ship, right?
Rogue traders are like kind of the colonial
so
exploratory force of the Empire.
Shows
like
how much I know.
They go to new planets and negotiate deals and it's kind of weird because you're like not supposed to like there's like this literally xenophobic laws like aliens are bad, no aliens, you know. But basically they're like the explorers. They're like Space Columbus,
like the Spacing Guild from Dune.
Yeah, they get a lot of special treatment that other humans don't. Like they don't necessarily follow the Imperium's rules and stuff outright.
Oh yeah, they have an emperor, which may or may not be alive.
Yeah, and he's kind of like a cool guy.
Like Star Wars.
He's like a sentient thing.
It's kind of a cool story because they sort of misinterpret his message, where he wanted humanity to be free. But he was mortally wounded by a guy consumed by chaotic energy.
Yeah, that was the
heresy.
Heresy.
Yeah.
Basically, his right-hand man stabbed him in the back. It's a Caesar kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's sort of if you've seen Event Horizon, that's sort of a prequel, an unofficial prequel to the whole Warhammer universe because the ship goes through warp and basically ends up in hell, and the warp in this story, the faster light travel involves going through.
Sam Neill's also in that
through hell. Yeah, that's kind of why that movie's so good. Is it? Yeah. While not necessarily a great movie, it had a great cast. And
what is your favorite Space Marine chapter?
I know this absolutely, without a doubt. I know this, and it's the Raptors, because they're the only Space Marines that'll like camo up, and they'll just choose their like the best tactics to win the fight. It's like all the other Space Marines are kind of like the honor guard. They're like, let's be loud and wear bright colors. You know,
I like the Catechin and the Imperial Guard just because they're like military, but they're
I've never heard it said like
regular people.
I would say Cadian, but
Cadian.
Catechin.
Well, there's
because Cadia fell.
I'm thinking of Catachan. There's like
the jungle guys.
Yeah, the jungle guys.
Yeah, those guys are cool too.
The Cadian, the Cadians are just like they look like regular soldiers wearing like
Well, I always like the Cadians because it's kind of like it's kind of like. Well, actually, it predates it, but Halo Reach is basically like Cadia. It was like a fortress world, like at a strategic location planet. Everyone on the planet is just like ready for war. Yeah, they don't build stuff or farm anything more than they have foodstuffs for their people, but they're a planet designed to fight.
Just conquest and war in general is Warhammer 40K's like biggest export. It's like conquering new lands and taking their resources is what, and their children is what they do, and because like factions, like chapters within the Imperium, like war against each other, right? Don't they?
Oh, some of it. I mean, there's like humans in some of the stories that are
It's
there's all kinds. I mean, this is a big universe. Nobody talks about it the same. Like hardcore comic book nerd guys. That they get into it, and there is tons of books and lore and stuff backing it up. But like, the mainstream hasn't gotten to Warhammer very much yet. And the video games kind of suck. Some of them are great, but most of them suck. There's no movies. There's very little connection to like mainstream stuff. When like Star Trek got poached by CBS and they shit all over it. Star Wars got shit all over by A.H. Abrams. I mean everybody ruins everything, and they haven't gotten to Warhammer yet.
It's like fucking George Lucas kind of shit all over himself, but now we don't mind it because of what Star Wars is now.
It's like George Lucas.
He gets a pass now.
It's like George Lucas sipped his drink wrong and puked on his chest, and we were like, "Oh my God, George!" And he's like, "Okay, fine, I don't want to do it anymore." He gave it to J.J. Abrams, and he like did a cartwheel while he was shitting, And we're like, "Oh, give it back to George." He just burped too hard. It was bad, but it was still made with love.
J.J. Abrams did the same exact shit with Star Trek.
Yeah.
And I actually don't mind the new Star Trek stuff. They need to be set apart.
So the difference is there's so much Star Trek content that you can kind of forgive fucking up. like the early TNG episodes were full of shit.
What they're doing now and turning it into like, oh, we're fucking we're at war all the time. It's just that's not what Star Trek ever was,
And like Deep Space Nine touched on that, but they didn't fuck up.
But Deep Space
they didn't
Nine,
lose the soul.
It was always understood that like Deep Space Nine was set apart from what everyone else was doing. Like they were doing some shady experiments and some fucking high tech shit. But
they still kind of had the moral high ground. Yeah. There wasn't, and it's covered darker material, but it still sort of had a much more honest view of humanity.
It was just I feel like it was just an outlet to touch on something that really wasn't touched on in Star Trek, and now that's all Star Trek is fucking conflict.
Yeah.
And fights. Even J.J. Abrams stuff is like that. It's like, oh, it's constant space battles. Mm-hmm. People love space battles. People want to see lasers and fucking phasers going off.
And lens flares. To be fair, and I don't have any...
Which lens flares are cool, but it takes you out of the moment.
Yeah, I don't like them.
Like, I feel like lens flares are...
They had their moment, like the first Star Trek. And like that's enough. I don't ever want another movie with those.
I don't even think it belonged there. Like in that era, I feel like
I don't mind it when it's like an outdoor scene where it's sunny,
or like when there's headlights at night.
Yeah, not in the cockpit of the ship randomly.
Every time I see a lens flare, I'm like, oh, there's a camera recording this. Mm-hmm. And that's all it feels like. And when you're sucked into on the main deck of the Enterprise or something, right? It's like. You don't need to see that. It doesn't do anything for the movie except for add a visual thing that apparently people like. I don't know.
Yeah.
And most people that like that kind of stuff.
I was thinking it's sort of like auto-tune in rap songs.
Or anyway.
It's like how remember when Conway West like auto-tuned an entire album? Mm-hmm. And you're like that was cool, and you're like everyone's doing it. Literally they just get
fireworks in a Michael Bay movie instead of an explosion.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. There was a time, like when The Rock came out, there was a time when Michael Bay wasn't completely despicable. Like, I hate to say it like that. He's not a pedophile. Or, I mean, he's not officially on Epstein's plane.
Yeah.
But, like, God, just quit. Make one of them good. Like 13. Did he do 13 hours, or was it the Battleship guy?
That was Michael Bay.
Oh. Yeah. Like, that came close.
You can tell because of the explosions.
Oh, yeah.
The explosions are just like streamers and sparklers.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm curious if, like, shooting your own crew on set's going to become a popular thing now that Alec Baldwin fucking did
like, everyone's going to want it. Like, Kevin Spacey's going to get a movie and do it.
Yeah.
You know? I'm back, baby! To be fair, I don't want to tell like war stories, but the closest and worst explosion I ever saw blew up the back wall of the compound, and no one reacted because we were like, it looked like a Michael Bay explosion. There was like stuff. It was like bright red, and there was a fireball, and I swear there was like white sparklers and shit.
Oh.
And we're like, what is that? And it's like everything else you'd ever seen blow up was a flash and like black smoke,
and dirt.
Yeah.
Like the only explosions I've ever seen has just been dirt.
Mm-hmm.
Just sand and dirt.
But we didn't know what to think. We thought it was like bigger and farther away. Like it was about 100 meters away, and we thought it was like a half mile and the size of a skyscraper. And it was actually much closer and much smaller. But it looked like a Hollywood explosion for whatever, like aluminum powder mixed in the HME or something. I don't know what did that, but it was weird. It's also very bad, the failure of memory and stress and sleep deprivation. It's like, who knows if that's what I saw. But we all remember it that way, Okay, wait. I have to say why. So I invented a character to go with the, like, whoever, the ecclesiarchy or whatever. Why can't I scroll? I fucking hate this phone.
I hate this pen.
Son of a bitch. This phone's horrible.
Life.
I hate Apple and I hate Samsung. Okay.
I'm just going to chew on this like a straw till my mouth is black.
Okay, so you have like Inquisitors and Intercessors and the little flying skulls that I can't remember. You have like the Mechanicus guys, and has like somebody's got to feed these people, and he's probably got like a hot dog cart, and so this guy's got like power armor and a hot dog cart, and he's called the Concessor. He does concessions for the Space Marines. That's my idea.
Greasy enough.
The title comes with its honors.
Yeah, Concessor. Feed the men the hot dogs. We have an agreement. You stay here and you cook greasy.
How can they fight the Tyranids without their hot dogs?
Yeah. Or like really bad snow cones that taste like plasticky sugar stuff.
All right. Let's we got like 3 minutes till this fucking piece of shit dies on us.
Oh, or that's about it anyway.
Yeah.
I thought I wrote more things, but I didn't. So
I didn't write anything. If you can't
what else did you write, Shoney? Like Page Master. Page Master was good.
Oh,
all right, there, that's covered.
Oh, about like places you would live. Oh, James. I think if I had to like live one fantasy.
Were you gonna say
world,
Jamestown?
No, James Gurney's Dinotopia. Bunch of kids books.
Oh, like a fictional place.
I only own the original like actual books.
I'm gonna change my answer.
I thought we had to be real.
I want to live on that island from Wonder Woman.
See, when you brought that up, I thought
women.
you were talking about like fantasy places, like places in books and movies.
I mean, that works too. I don't care. Yeah, that works too.
That just the how everything is in Dinotopia, the peace between people and like the rules that they have. If you haven't read Dinotopia by James Gurney,
give it a look. It's an illustrated book, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's every book. There's one book in there, First Flight. I mean, you could probably skip that fucking thing. Oh. It's fine. It's just
it's episode 1.
It's the only book out of there that is just it feels catered to kids, and that's it. You know, but it's like the third book in the 4-book series. But before you get all to the novels, and like Hallmark did like a mini series movie back in the day, which I love that movie. That might even be my favorite shit ass movie.
Oh, yeah, I know about that. Yeah. I've never seen it, but I remember.
It's a nostalgia thing for me. But the books are written as a journal from written by Arthur
Conan
Dennison.
Oh, I was thinking Lost World.
Yeah, and it's
double.
I love it. It's fucking a fantastic world.
Sherlock Holmes.
It's a world that I wish our world was, you know, as far as setting dinosaurs aside, like those don't exist anymore. If you just had the way they live, like close to the earth, like everything is, everything means something, everyone's kind to each other, helps each other out. There's no like real.
And all you had to do is give 90% of your income to the government.
Your financial gain isn't a thing that anybody seeks.
Real thing.
Yeah, it's not like a real thing. It's like, I grind grain and make bread because people need to eat. Mm-hmm. But one problem I have with Dinotopia is they don't eat meat.
Oh. That's kind of fucked up.
Consume only vegetables.
You think the raptors and the T-Rex are just like constantly whining about the Impossible Burger?
So like the carnivores eat meat, obviously, but there's like an understanding between the people of Dinotopia and the carnivores.
Oh, it's like a really, really weird moral area, like Lion King, where like all the herbivores are just like cool with the system. They're like, it's the cycle of life, and it's like, no, these cats have a Ponzi scheme going. They're systematically murdering you to live.
There's a saying from
if you're a sentient hippo, you should just kill them things.
There's a saying. There's like a saying, and it's not in the books, but there's a saying in those shitty Hallmark Dinotopia movies. It's like, the carnivores aren't evil; they're just hungry by nature. And it's like, yeah, that's what it is.
I mean, I'm fine with that, but it's like these children's stories. They always have like the herbivores sort of like consent to the circle of life thing, and it's like that's not how it should be, dude. Like, I mean, a wildebeest runs away, or whatever. Like these things they've got the eyes that can see all the way around their body. Yeah. They've got a whole strategy to, I don't know. Lion King pisses me off in that regard. It's like
there's also no like people don't have weapons. It's a law. They have a whole list of laws, and one of their laws is like. Weapons are enemies even to their owners. And I can't get behind that one.
No.
So
I feel like that. What's that show? It's not Borderlands.
But that's
Wildlands. Oh God, where like everybody agreed not to have guns, so everybody has motorcycles and swords.
Yeah.
And it's like
the only way
it'd be really cool to be the one guy that kept his gun.
I would be okay with a world without firearms or any weapons if every single person on this planet wholeheartedly believed in doing no violence to one another. You know, if there was no, it would be well, yeah, it would be like if there was no reason to have a weapon to defend yourself. I'd be like, okay, well, let's just live in. It's probably the most liberal thing that I believe in. It's just that's not how the world is.
Yeah.
That's not how our world is.
I don't disagree with the liberal part. It's
a fantasy.
Literal. Yeah, it's just so far removed from. I mean, even Star Trek. There's an episode where a guy like collects guns for fun.
It could be. It could be a reality. It's not ours, and it never will be.
Maybe if everyone had like a genetic problem. Like, like some kind of
pacifism.
I was, there. I can't remember what it was, but there's something where some short story or something where, it was like a bad romantic comedy from the 50s where, like this virus has like the only symptom is everybody starts being kind to each other, and I don't know. It's like a dumb romantic comedy like Doris.
Pringle Brule.
Not Doris Day, but. Oh shit! It was Mary Tyler Moore and somebody like the guy that was the colonel on A-Team or something. Anyway, but yeah, the whole thing is everybody starts being nice to each other. I haven't seen it, but it they were talking about how virtuous and everything it was, and it's like that is like, I mean, everyone's just trying to survive, even if you don't know it.
Yeah.
You know, you get up and you go to work to make money to buy food. You know, even. Entertainment is like survival masturbation. You know, you play video games because there's no real conflicts in your life, but you want to like emulate them. You know, feel like you prospered. You know, and that's just human nature, animal nature.
You go to a movie to see adventure.
Yeah, yeah. You try and imagine yourself in other people's shoes. You try and drop into other people's imagined things.
I mean, that's why we watch movies and read books.
Yeah.
That's why I really like the movie The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
I do love that movie, and the soundtrack is fucking incredible. It's
a serious Ben Stiller movie.
Yeah.
So I've never seen it, but I always reference that because I feel like...
you feel like him.
I feel like him. Mm-hmm. Like the backpacking trip we were talking about earlier where it's like, we're never going to fucking go. We're going to buy $3,000 worth of like fucking Arc'teryx and Mystery Ranch stuff. And Salem on boots, and then we'll go spend one night in the snow and be like, that was too cold.
There's a connection in the old Walter Mitty thing and Dune.
Is there?
Fear is the mind killer.
Yeah.
What I like about Walter Mitty is like he gets to a point where he decides like the consequences of his actions aren't greater than the story, you know?
Yeah.
Like subconsciously, it's like I'm gonna jump out of this fucking helicopter and try to land on this ship. Spoilers if you haven't seen that movie.
Oh, well, now I can. Now I know.
And he lands in the fucking freezing ass ocean. You know, and it's just.
Oh, wait! We should talk about normal favorite movies if that thing.
But first, I have something I wrote down a while ago.
Oh, okay. Good.
I know
you haven't said anything.
Yeah, I know. I know Nick's answer because we talked about this like 5 years ago. If you were in the Star Wars universe, what would your job be? What would you do for a living?
Bounty hunter.
No.
Wait, what's your answers?
Nick and I both said the same thing at the same time. Like,
waste management, you know?
Moisture evaporator. Or moisture farmer, whatever.
Yeah.
I wonder what's
like North Dakotan in you.
Like realistically, like what's your?
I wonder.
No, bounty hunter. Isn't that everybody?
It just.
What else? Like rebel pilot or bounty hunter or TIE pilot?
That would be really cool, but it was like if
I still
if you were born in the Star Wars universe, what would you end up being?
I feel like my answer.
Oh, like without choosing.
Yeah, without choosing.
Oh,
well, maybe that was the question.
I wonder what I'd have been in the old country.
Yeah,
probably a doctor.
My job wouldn't be as cool as moisture evaporator.
I mean, what's left?
Moisture farmer. If I had to choose a job nowadays.
I'd probably be like
you would be a gonk droid.
I'd be like a little woman that's kind of pig shaped that has to do like maintenance, and I guard the escape pods so no one can abandon ship with like a little taser.
We all know.
Made yourself.
We all know from personal history that we would be building gazebos for the Empire.
Yeah, we'd have like the cool ATAX forest green camo, and
we would wish we had that.
Well, I mean, they'd give us the camo. They wouldn't give us the blasters, and they'd be like, "So, Endor, we're trying to clean up a bunch of shit, and the Ewoks need somewhere to smoke." You're like. Everything they own's made of wood. Why do we have to build it? It's like, just make them a gazebo,
Make them happy.
We used all our ordnance, like we had a fucking fireworks show after we blew it up, even though there's still like 1,000 Star Destroyers. Never mind those.
Yeah.
We wasted all our ordnance.
Those went somewhere else.
Yeah, so what we need you to do is get in the fire truck that's just like an F-350 with a flatbed and pails. Go drive around, see if all the proton torpedoes we set off in the atmosphere did anything bad, because all these redwoods are pretty important to us.
James and I were talking recently about how stupid the fucking language, alien languages are, how lazy they were in the original Star Wars. Like that Twi'lek that's like Jabba the Hutt's fucking right-hand dude.
The guy, Twi'lek.
Yeah. He's like...
You Jabba no bother.
Jabba no bother.
It's funny, though, because you actually, it's like you don't even need subtitles. It's like...
Yeah.
It's an alien... Or like...
You want a Wonga?
The only thing good in that Force Unleashed movie, Unawakens, is... that random girl that's like an agent for the New Order or whatever, and she's like the subtitle says, "I found the droids," and she's like, "Baba Dooey, it's a Gundam," and we're like, "Oh, that's kind of cool."
Is that Japanese for droid? Or Korean or something?
Mecha? I don't, like Gundam Wing. I don't know.
I think Gundam actually means like robot or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Oh, like Gundam's literally a Japanese word for...
I think so.
I do not. I'm the wrong man for that, because
Eric would know.
Eric would know.
My mom was talking about sushi stuff, and I was like, well, some of it's really good, and I was like gnocchi? I was like, there's like this gnocchi, and she's like, that's Italian, and that's soup. And I'm like, oh, okay. And it's like no theater.
I might be wrong. It might not mean anything.
It's like Transformers.
I mean, it must mean something.
It says over there.
I mean, Gundam is kind of a stupid word.
It's a media franchise, media mix.
Actually,
well, yeah.
Well, Gundanium alloy is a thing.
Robots or mecha with the name Gundam.
Oh, it doesn't say genre though. It says media. Is it just talking about Gundam Wing or Gundam?
No,
Mobile
it's
Suit Gundam.
Does that say how much longer we can go?
That sounds like a genre.
Because I don't want to quit, but I do have to pee.
Oh wait, yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, we got we're still figuring out this camera thing, but we got 20 seconds.
Is that all?
Well, goodbye.
Yeah, we got 20 seconds.
Wow, that was a good time to ask.
Yeah, it was.
Good conclusion.
Yeah, why don't we just wrap this shit up then?
Yeah.
I
feel like we finally hit our stride.
We hit an hour 40 in.
Figuring out Japanese robots and dog robots. We laughed, we learned, we traveled the world in our heads. We talked about distant worlds.
Ready?
Yeah.
49 times I fought that beast.
Your old man and me.
It had a chicken head with duck feet.
And a woman's face, too.
Oh, that's rad.
It was waiting in the bushes for us. Ripped off your dad's face.
I was thinking something awful.
Screaming. Almost.
Oh.